Biden does nothing.
Joe Biden does nothing.
Hold Joe Biden.
Look at what we have. You know, you look at what we have to deal with. That lady said, I directly hold Joe Biden responsible.
Kamala Harris, the borders are done. And on February 27th, 2022, our lives were shattered and our baby was gone. This was not an overdose, it was a poisoning. His whole future, everything we ever wanted for him was
this could be your child. This could be anybody's child.
Joe Biden does nothing.
Nothing.
I hold Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, the borders are. What a joke. And Gavin Newsom and
the border czar. What a joke. You know, and what's even a bigger joke is right now, they're spending all of their money, campaign time, and influence and power to convince you, and you that she was not the border czar. It's just some title that Donald Trump came up with it. Donald Trump. I mean, gee whiz, is it anything they're not going to blame on this man? I mean, gee whiz. Somebody get diarrhea, this Donald Trump's fault. Constipation, that's Donald Trump's fault too. He's nowhere near your kitchen, but it's his fault somehow. Everything is Donald Trump's fault. Like, really? Their fake news about their agenda. That's not fair. What's up with that? Yeah, man. So I do want to play some... I do want to play a little bit of my Kamala montage. My Kamala laughter. I mean, if you can't laugh, I mean, goodness gracious. You got to laugh a little bit. So we got the Olympics. We got elections. I mean, man. We got UFC. Dana, Joe Rogan. Yeah, man, I think it gets no better. Humor is good. Goyo, that's right. Come on up if you want to, man. Speak to the world. Talk to us. Humor is good. Except for, I'm going to just be honest, it is good. Unless you think what is going on when it comes to the American election right now. Can I get a shout out? Liam Savage, I see you. Jesus loves you. Loves you too. He loves you too, buddy. I can tell you that. Yes. Yes, man. Humor is good. And so, yeah. So we got, I just don't know. I just haven't seen a time as this. I haven't seen a time like this probably because it wasn't as important. So I didn't think to myself, wow. Yeah. Because I just wasn't. But I can tell you, man. Thought until I saw the Olympics myself today. And then like when I actually saw it, and then I saw a commercial of Kamala Harris asking me for $5, I was like, how dare you? But then I calmed down and I said to myself, wow. USA. And I saw Snoop Dogg watching the swimming. Snoop Dogg was at the Olympics. Huh?
I didn't see Snoop Dogg for a long time.
Yeah, well, yeah. He definitely was out. He's in the Olympics right now, watching in Paris or wherever the Olympics is. But yeah, he's out there. But my point is, he's out there, and he was screaming for the Olympic USA men 4x4 relay or 4x100 relay to win that gold. They didn't win it last time against Australia, and they were favored to slightly win it, and they blew them out. It was great. Snoop Dogg was caught up into it. And what I'm saying is, I can imagine, I thought of Snoop, and I thought of a lot of other entertainers that have joined this hatred of America. Not saying Snoop, but a lot of entertainers that joined in. He joined in for a little while. I think he backed off or whatever. But a lot of entertainers and people who have been painting this hate America notion, hate America energy, hate America attitude, hate America swag, hate America, whatever. Just don't like America right now. I guarantee you this. When they look at Channel 8, NBC, the great Peacock, peacocks have always been beautiful. What's wrong with people? Go watch the Peacock right now. And then at the end of the day, when you're done watching it, if you still say you're voting for Kamala Harris, well, only if you found yourself caught up rooting for USA Gold, there is no way you're gonna be able to watch all of that and then say you're gonna vote for Kamala. It just don't go together.
I'm still, I'm still undecided. I still don't know who I'm going to vote for.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
And I try to listen to different streams, and I try to listen to other, I try to listen to, people that are on both sides,
Right.
And it's
hard.
kind of disturbing in a way because it's hard to really it's hard to make a decision.
Right.
At one time, I hear, people that are Trump supporters,
Uh-huh.
And then other days I started hearing, Biden supporters.
Okay.
And as you know, I mean, it's to me, it's I'm sure you already made. I know you've made your decision already, but I'm gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait it out, and see how it goes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But I do like your stream because you do give me insight on.
I appreciate that.
On the, on Trump, you give me insight and it's good. That's what I need.
Right. I think, in the end, that's all it's about. So you got, the problem is you have some people that feel like, I think if you're looking for the answers, that's the most important thing. And when you say you go to different streams and you're looking for it, hey man, it don't get no better than that. And at the end of the day, you have to just come down to a decision that you gathered the best information you can. But I'm telling you for a fact, once you gather all of the information you can, if your mind is clearly like open to it and you're not biased, and you people will be removing the personal feelings or the personal animosity that you may or not heard of. But once you remove those things, it'll be clear. And it'll be clear because you have to say, all right, let's remove Trump. What don't I like about Trump? And then you say, all right, now let's look at the Republican Party before Trump. All right, you take those few informations and then you leave it, you write it down, whatever. And then you say to yourself, what don't I like about Kamala or Biden and whoever her running mate is? And I'm saying it without any sarcasm. So once you take those things, you say, now, what didn't I like about the Democratic Party before them? My point to you is, my friend, once you start answering those questions, you will see something. The Democratic Party has totally changed. The agenda that they once had, and to be honest, it has not changed much. It's just we didn't pay a lot of attention to it. And the trajectory that is going now with messing with our children, with school curriculum, things like that, that's dangerous. And so it's bigger than anything to me. It's bigger than any personal animosity against Joe Biden, against Kamala Harris, or against Trump. So if somebody was to tell me, okay, basically all you would have to do is do this. If somebody was to say to me and show me, hey, you know what? Trump is now supporting letting the kids or allowing kids to be taught this education before the age of such and such, or before they're in middle school. The transgender curiosity class is now a curriculum for sure, federal law. All right. And then they told me, yes, it is now federal law and okay for your kid to actually make that change. Trump supports that. And then they told me Trump also now supports the kids, you know, the men joining in girls sports in school. Then I would actually be in a position where I would say, okay, because that is my biggest gripe. My biggest gripe is fighting for our children and their futures. And so if you remove those things from the good things of Trump, then we have a tighter race. All right. And then if you tell me, all right, well, Trump has just said open borders is good. All right, you're getting me farther to the middle. But we can't say any of those things. And as it stands, these are things that the Democrats actually stand on, and they stand on it stronger than they actually stand on the the love and support of our American civilian. And so if you can get Joe Biden or Kamala to, let me tell you something, man. Goyo, the thing about it is the Democrats are so stupid. All you actually need to do is all they have to do is play the game right. If they played the game right, this actually probably wouldn't be as hard. Imagine this, just for a minute, if you will. Imagine Kamala Harris actually coming out, embracing a few of the things that Donald Trump did. Imagine her distancing herself, because we see she's going to do it. She's going to distance herself away from Joe Biden, but guess what? She will not distance herself in the spots where it matters most. You understand what I'm saying? If she actually stood up in front of the American people, we know she's going to be lying, but what I'm saying, to secure a nomination, if they actually thought for a minute, because the independents want to hear it. They want to hear it, but they too stupid to say it. So if she actually said to the American people for 1 second, you know what? I was only the VP. You know what? I wanted to do this and that. You know what? I didn't want to sell the part of the border that Donald Trump had rightfully built, but I was not the president. See, there are things she could say to totally win this election. That's why they have to be careful what they ask for. And she might not be the right one, but what I'm saying is it don't have to be the right one. All some people need to do is hear the right things. And then when they hear it, CNN gonna play it 1,000 times. If she could get one good night. One good night. Remember when she said what she said to Joe Biden? It broke Joe Biden's campaign down, and it put Bernie Sanders and whatever that Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, and Pete Buttigieg. It put all of them guys in front of Joe Biden because Kamala Harris had one good night. And what I'm saying is, if she can do that another time or two, and CNN, MSNBC, ABC, and all of those clowns help her out, it's going to be trouble.
One thing I noticed about Kamala Harris is, I mean...
Bullfrog, you up next.
There's nothing. She's not saying anything. She's like, they're like...
Well, that's my point.
She's so... No, she could be our next president.
Right.
And, why isn't she not speaking?
Well, you got to understand.
I don't understand. That's one thing I don't understand.
Well, I'm going to tell you, brother. I'm going to tell you. One of her first things that she did was actually met with the transgender community. She just met with RuPaul. This is one of her first things. RuPaul and the whole company. And so that is my point. It's like this lady has no real intentions of actually
this shows that her priorities are not
right.
There.
But will our black sisters and will our women who are voting for her because she's a woman, will they notice? Because if they don't notice, it doesn't matter. See, they have to notice.
I mean, I just said, but RuPaul, she's that much of a high priority.
Well, I mean, obviously, that's my point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
All right, Bullfrog, welcome.
Priorities are off.
Way off,
They're
man.
already off.
They are way off, my brother. Man, Bullfrog Heat, how you doing, man? Welcome to the feed. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for bringing me up, man. I
Oh,
appreciate it.
definitely. It's
I was
always the
just listening to
conversation.
what you were saying, and what I was just gonna kind of throw at you real quick. I don't want to just monologue on and on.
Uh-huh.
But what you're saying that could be true, but also what could be true because of what the government and what some of the people that really love power and money have done to Donald Trump and to his family for the last 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really causing. Well, what it's done is it's made him so strong and powerful now with the American public. That's why you're seeing these chaotic things happening in the Democratic Party. They're
Yeah.
lost. They don't know how to beat the guy. They've tried everything. It's not working. And this is why it looks the way it does.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And believe me, to be totally honest, I'm happy about it. Simple for you. Because the thing that you don't want, I mean, simple for you. Because the thing that you don't want, I mean, would you want to go to your school? Do you have kids, Goyo? I think we talked before. We talked before. Do you
Yeah,
have
I have 2 children, but they're already married and
all right, that's cool.
have families.
That's even better. You know why? You know who we love more than our kids once our kids get grown? We love our grandchildren. So whether you have them yet or not, one day, God willing, you will have a few. And so think about this. Think about what Bullfrog just said with all of the chaos going on in the Democrat Party. So you have to sit down and say to yourself, yeah, my kids are grown. Do I trust my children, my grandchildren, with policies that I see coming from the left? And think about this. You only see a hint of it. You only see a hint of it because remember this, everybody, no matter who you're voting for, the Democrats they only had the Senate. It's not like they had full power. It's not like they had the House and the Senate. And so Goyo, I know you kind of told me you don't you don't follow up on a lot, which is nothing wrong with that. But I want to say that, I just want to put on top of that without the House and the Senate, that's where the balance and checks come. And so you can't bulldoze and do everything you want. You can do a lot, but you can't do everything. Hey, when Donald Trump is gone, one more election, one more administration under something like what we just went through, I don't think Republicans would ever win again, first of all. And then I would also dare to say, I think there would be a House and a Senate situation where they can steamroll things, and the things that we see in California, the things that we see in New York, the things that we see going on in school curriculum now, and the things that we see, the statement that the School Board of Education made by flying the MAP flag or the transgender flag, which had the MAP signal in it. So these are not good. And I don't actually need to hear a lot from certain Republicans to actually frown down on those things. So, the Democrats got things to where it makes you just sit down and say, for that alone, they can't get my vote. And they don't just have one thing like that. They have several different things where you can say, okay, let's check out this category. Okay, that's enough to lose my vote. All right, B. Let's say A was the curriculum in school. That's enough to lose my vote. I'm upset the kids not learning. Let me see. I remember at some point when I looked at my sons, I got 3 sons, like grown. And then so I remember at some point looking at them saying, whoa, the education they get now is mad stupid. Like in a good way. It's like, I can start getting education from my kids now. They can show me a thing or two. This new way of math that they insist on calling algebra and all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then we look at the way the youth are coming up and for the last 5 years and 7, 8 years, it's been genius. Now that's gone. That's gone. That education gap is closing again. Now the old people like me, we can actually teach the little kids something again. You know why? Because that's what happened to America. That's what's going on. That we ain't even the smartest country. We just getting outdone. And so, yeah, that's enough alone. Go ahead, get back in.
I just wanted to mention, what you said about priorities with Kamala Harris.
Yeah,
As we know, and I know she knows that according to the U.S. Census, it shows that Black Americans are one of the poorest races in America.
yeah, that's a fact.
That's something that she should be trying to fix or be at least speaking about it to the Black community.
Yeah, if that is your agenda. But obviously, it has to be in her. You can't just come out and talk about things that are in you because that are not a part of you. Because if you do, then I'm gonna tell you what you sound like. This is how you sound. Do you think you just fell out of a coconut tree? Have you ever heard that? Have you ever heard her say that? Maybe not. But these are some of her famous word salads, the passage of time. And so she gets to these things where she says the same thing 5 or 6 times to help the listener believe she actually knows what she's talking about. And so, all right, so somebody just answered and said, Kamala is half Jamaican and half Indian from India. All right. And James Bellotti says she's worried about abortion. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, James. I'll let her tell you.
Hi, everyone. It's Kamala Harris. Each day, we are seeing our rights and freedoms under attack, including the right of everyone to be who they are, love who they love.
All right. Okay. All right. Right early in the promotion or whatever that is, she's worried about abortion. One of her first acts as presidential candidate, was meeting with RuPaul and his whole stage of people. And so I don't think she's worried about abortion. She will tell the American women she's worried about abortion, but she's not actually worried about abortion. Right now, she is sitting with men that are telling our women, our sisters, our mothers, our grandmothers, our daughters, that they can be them. She's sitting with them right now saying, you matter. Telling them they matter. Telling them they matter. Instead of actually telling black women, wait, hold on, my bad. Instead of actually telling all women, you matter. No, hold on, 1 second. One second. Yeah, hold on 1 second. Goyo, hold on 1 second. Let me finish playing this. And as I play it, I think about my mother. So I get a little emotional about it. And so, yeah, instead of sitting down with women first, little girls, telling them they matter, she's sitting down with men, telling them they matter. No. I don't want to hear nothing about her and her love for women.
Openly and with pride.
Openly and with pride.
Back against these attacks. Let's all remember, no one is alone. We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Now on with the show.
And remember, you better vote.
She's actually sitting down with them. That's who she's sitting with.
I want to say another thing. Okay, we know that TikTok is one of the largest. What's it called? I can't think right off the bat. It's a.
My brother James Bellotti, great comment.
It's a big app, right? We know that, right? So because this app is a very large app, and it's a big social media app. you know that they're listening to us.
Yeah, I know that. I don't really care.
It would be really be dumb if they're not looking at Facebook and they're not looking at TikTok. You know, these politicians are looking at what the people are saying, correct?
Yes, they are.
I mean, I would think, maybe I'm completely off, you know? But if I was a politician and I'm running for president, I'm going to go on these apps and start, you know, writing down, okay, what are the, what are people talking about? What
Yeah.
are the big issues, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
maybe that's how I would do things.
well, I mean, I actually think, brother, to be honest, I mean, you have to. I mean,